Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live on this Friday night, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure you give the video a like, a thumbs up, and if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. There's a time change for Sunday. The Daytona 500 that was scheduled for 2:30 Eastern Time has been moved up 1 hour to 1:30 Eastern Time because of the threat of rain. Of course, in Florida, it rains all the time, but it might rain for 5 minutes and it might rain for 5 hours. But we know that Daytona 500 is the Super Bowl of NASCAR, and nothing like hyping it up and getting all ready for it, and then on the day of, it rains. So they're hoping to move it up 1 hour and get it finished before the rain comes in. You'd hate to spend all this time getting ready for it and then have to race it on a Monday. But tonight, my topic is NBA, because even though they call this the official halfway point of the season, because it is an all-star weekend, most teams have played between 55 and 56, 54 games, somewhere along in there. So, games-wise, it's way past halfway, but they call it the official halfway part of the season. Of course, with the play-in tournaments they have now, 10 teams officially make the playoffs. I still call it 8 because you have to win the play-in tournament in order to get there. So if you don't win the play-in tournament, then in my opinion, you didn't get there, but they call that the playoff tournament. But since it's called the play-in tournament, to me, you're playing to get into the playoffs, which means you ain't there. So let's take a look at the standings from the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference now that we're at the All-Star break. The Cavaliers have the best record in the Eastern Conference. They've slowed down some. Hey there, Mary. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for checking in. Feel free to give the video a like and a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. The Cavaliers have slowed down some. Earlier in the season, I want to say they won their first 17 games, I believe. 16 games, somewhere along in there. So it looked like they were on pace to win 70 plus games. They have definitely slowed way down. They're not going to get there, but still pretty doggone good. And I agree, Aaron. He loves everybody. Thank you so much for checking in, Aaron. I greatly appreciate it. But the Cavaliers are 44 and 10. We have the Celtics at 39 and 16. The Knicks are 36 and 18. And honestly, the Knicks might have the best starting five in the Eastern Conference. The problem is they have no bench at all. So when you have no depth, it's hard to win come playoff time because you can't ask 5 or 6 guys to play 45 minutes every single night. And no, Mary, it is not. I've been doing this for, I want to say, next month will be 3 years, I think. I believe. But now I have not did every single video live. There was a point in time where almost all of my videos were recorded because I just have so much going on. But I figured the best way to grow the channel is to be able to come on here and actually sit down and, chat with people as they come on here. So for the last couple of months, I've been trying to do more live videos, but the channel itself has been around. I want to say next month will be 3 years. I believe that's right. And I didn't know that I was being rude, Mary. I apologize. I don't know what I said, but I apologize. But the Knicks have a great Starting lineup, they just have no depth at all. Then we have the Pacers at 30 and 23. The Bucks are 29 and 24. Oh, okay, Mary. I'm glad you said not me. I guess somebody commented something rude, but I've been doing this long enough to know you're always going to get idiots come on here and try to be keyboard warriors. Then you're going to have robots come on here and say stuff just to try to get a reaction out of you. So if I see comments that I know are just from people that are being stupid or just from robots, I don't even acknowledge them. People will stop by and won't even watch the channel at all. They'll just come on and make a comment and then leave. We have the Bucks at 29 and 24, the Pistons at 29 and 26, the Magic, who at one time were playing really, 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 really good. Now they're struggling. Now they're 27 and 29. Hey there, Lori. Glad to have you here. The Hawks have the 8th spot right now at 26 and 29, and the Heat are 25 and 28. And it shows you how weak the Eastern Conference is. The Bulls right now have the 10 spot in the Eastern Conference, and they're 11 games below 500 at 22 and 33. And then on the Western Conference side, we have the Thunder, who actually have the same exact record as the Cavaliers at 44 and 10. The Grizzlies are 36 and 18. Bye, Mary. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. The Nuggets, who were struggling earlier in the year, are 36 and 19. And the Nuggets are probably the Western Conference version of the Knicks. They have a great starting five, but their bench in some games is almost non-existent. The Rockets are 34 and 21. We have the Lakers at 32 and 20. The Clippers at 31 and 23. The Timberwolves at 31 and 25. The Mavericks are 30 and 26. And then the last two spots in the Western Conference, we have the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors in a dead heat tie. Both are 28 and 27. Now, the worst team right now in basketball, probably going to be the worst team for the rest of the year, is the lowly 9-win Wizards. They're awful. I don't know if they'll win 15 games. If they do, they're going to be lucky. I mean, my New Orleans Pelicans are awful, but they've got 13 wins. But the Wizards are just flat out horrendous. The Jazz are also bad. The Hornets are also bad. But the Wizards are terrible. And you look at their team, top to bottom, I'm talking, their starting five and their bench, they look like they have quite a few years of putrid coming down the pipe unless they make some big changes in the offseason, because they have nothing right now on their roster that screams winning. I mean, they are just flat out awful. But hard to believe the NBA is already at their All-Star break. Their All-Star break is always Valentine's weekend. Now, the NBA ratings have been down. At one point in time, their ratings were going up. They've been going down recently. Hey there, Dark Pixel. Glad to have you here. And a lot of folks are complaining because, it's turned into a three-point shooting competition. There's no defense anymore. There's no true centers in the game anymore. There's very few real actual point guards compared to what point guards used to be in the game anymore. You don't see hook shots anymore. Half the time guys travel and, nothing gets said to them. But a lot of the fundamentals of the game are out, because as long as you can shoot threes, you can play. And there's more to basketball than shooting threes. I can recall, growing up, seeing teams, get a fast break, and they'll, get a fast break chance and run down the court and, If the guy's tall enough, get an easy dunk. If not, lay it up. But now guys get on the other side of the court by themselves, and instead of running under the basket and getting an easy two, they'll stop and shoot a three in transition. It's like, what are you doing? You're on that side of the court by yourself. And then I heard the other day, I want to say it was Tennessee basketball for college, but don't quote me on that. And their fans were complaining, saying they're now shooting too many threes. So what you're seeing in the NBA is trickling down because, as long as you can shoot, you make a roster. If you can't pass, doesn't matter. If you can't play defense, doesn't matter. If you can't make hook shots, doesn't matter. You can't shoot free throws, doesn't matter. You just stand in one spot, shoot threes. And there's more to the game than that, and people are, losing their interest because all anybody wants to do anymore is shoot threes, but at the same time, I really don't know how you stop it because you have the 3-point line and you can't tell people, hey, don't shoot threes, or hey, you can only shoot 3 threes per game. You can't really put in rules like that. That's stupid. So I don't really know how you fix it, but it definitely has changed the game, and it's all because of Steph Curry, because that's really what Steph Curry's known for is shooting threes. And since he's made so many of them for such a long period of time and helped the Warriors win all those championships, every player that comes along now wants to be the next Steph Curry and shoot 45 threes a game. And it's taken away everything from basketball except for one thing, shooting a three. Hey there, Austin. Glad you're here. So unless you go back to the way it used to be, which was no 3-point line at all, I mean, you could shoot that far back, but it was still just a 2-point basket. Unless you go back to that and take away the 3-point line, I really don't know what you can do to change it, except telling a team, hey, you can only shoot, X amount of threes per game, but then you're destroying the game by keeping up with how many threes a team is shooting, and that's stupid. It is going absolutely fantastic, Austin. Thank you for asking. But I would like to see some kind of a change to it because I would like to see basketball return to basketball. And right now, it's not basketball. No, Austin, actually, I have not even turned the TV on tonight. I had high school basketball, and I got home about 25 minutes ago, and I came in and I ate something, and then I figured, well, it's time for video. So I came in here to do my video, and I have not even turned the TV on as of yet, and I probably won't because I've still got to get in the bed and get up in the morning and go back to work. But that's the way I love it because I love being a busy man. So any thoughts on what basketball can do to change it and make it more watchable that makes sense and can actually be a discussion, please feel free to let me know because I'd love to know because I'd love for basketball to go back to, what it used to be. And it's definitely not there now. But like I said, I don't really know how you can change it unless you take that, out of the game altogether. And I don't think they're going to do that. But, you've got Alabama basketball, their head coach, Oates. In case you don't know this, a backstory on him, true story on him, I guess you could say. He tells his players that you can't even shoot from, say 13, 14, 15 foot. He tells all his players that's dumb. If you're going to shoot from that far back, you might as well back up and shoot a three. So you either lay the ball up or dunk it if you're tall enough. And if not, shoot a three. He doesn't want to see no 2-point shots from the free throw line. No 2-point shots from the paint unless you're right up under the basket. Because he says it's stupid to shoot a 15-foot jump shot and get the same amount of points as you would get if you dunked the ball. So if you're not going to dunk it or lay it up, don't shoot no jump shot unless you're behind the 3-point line. So he basically tells his players, if you shoot twos, that are not dunks and layups, you're not going to play because you're killing your team because you're not going to make that shot most of the time. And if you're only going to get a 2 point shot, why not go up under the basket and get an automatic 2 point shot instead of shooting that far away when it's not automatic? If you're going to shoot that far away, back up and shoot a three. If you can't shoot a three, you better lay it up or dunk it. Don't be shooting no jump shot from free throw line. And he tells his players that. So he basically has taken all 2 point shots out of the game except for dunks and layups. So if you play for Alabama, as long as you can dunk the ball, lay it up and shoot a three, that's all that matters. If you can't dribble, doesn't matter. If you can't play defense, doesn't matter. If you're an awful teammate, doesn't matter. If you travel all the time, doesn't matter. Just stand behind the 3 point line and shoot threes. So you know if Oates at Alabama's doing that, there probably are other coaches that I'm not aware of that are doing that. So I'd love to see a change. I just don't know what it could be. And yes, Austin, I do watch basketball. I like college basketball better than the NBA, but I do watch basketball. One of my favorite weeks of the year, if you want to call it a week, is when March Madness starts. I guess you can still call it a week since the play-in games are on Tuesday and Wednesday, but to me they're play-in games. So just like I said a while ago about the NBA play-in tournament, March Madness play-in games, to me, you're not in the tournament. So I don't consider the tournament starting until Thursday, and then of course we have, games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I love that week. You have college basketball from about 12:15 Eastern time Thursday afternoon until around 12:30 Eastern time Friday morning. But let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I've always wondered if a car almost dies, does it have an auto body experience? And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of three. Tell your friends and family how much you love them.